Welcome to our presentation on study skills for success. At Knutsford Academy, we recognise the value of teaching our students the study skills that are important for them to be successful. We also recognise the value of empowering our parents and carers with the knowledge you need so that you can best support your child at home. Therefore, we would like to share with you 2 effective study skills which our students are taught to use to help support the process of learning and revision. In this presentation, the 2 strategies are mind maps and flashcards. Mind maps are a very useful strategy for when students need to work on longer processes that they need to remember, when they need to explain ideas or concepts, or when they link keywords and ideas across a topic. Some tips for making and using mind maps include using different colours to help connect ideas, using diagrams to help explanations of ideas, and putting the completed mind map somewhere where they can look at it often to remind themselves of the connections that they have made. In order to make a mind map, it is useful to follow the following process. Students need to ensure that they know the knowledge statements for the topic that they are going to revise. These can be found in the revision booklets or in their class notes. When going through a statement, they should pick out the key words and write these in bubbles. Then link the bubbles with a line or arrow and a link phrase. When they look at the next knowledge statement, they should see if they can make a link between the knowledge that they have already recalled and that is already on the page. It might look confusing to start and it might need a few goes to work it out. One useful process is to do it first on a mini whiteboard and then apply it to paper that they will later revise from. They could also add colours and pictures where relevant. Here is a completed mind map as a first draft of one created on the topic of energy. You can see the bubbles where information is recalled and the arrows that link this knowledge. This is a useful video on YouTube which explains the process of mind maps and gives a visual demonstration of how one might be created. The link can be found on the website in the introduction to this presentation. The second strategy that we'd like to share with you is the use of flashcards. Flashcards work very well for things that students have to memorise, such as the definition of keywords, important dates, equations, symbols, the names of equipment or parts of a diagram, quotes, the functions of things, for example, the different parts of a cell, or listing the causes of a particular event, for example, the events that led to World War I, or listing the outcomes of an event. In order to make a flashcard, students again need to know the information that they have to memorise. They could use the revision guide or their class notes to help determine what they need to memorise. On one side of the flashcard, it is useful to write a short question, and on the other side of the flashcard, the correct answer. This could also be the keyword on one side and the definition on the other. This is a really useful strategy for you to do with your child. You can ask them the question and the student needs to verbally respond. You can then use the back of the flashcard to determine whether they were correct or not. The student could also do this strategy by themselves. This diagram represents another useful strategy as a way of using flashcards. Flashcards are made and left in the red pile. These are to be tested every day. The student picks up the flashcard, asks themselves the question, responds. If they are correct, it moves across to the next pile. If they are incorrect, it remains in the red pile. The yellow pile is tested twice weekly. Again, if they are correct, it moves to the green pile. If they are incorrect, it moves back down to the red pile to be tested every day. The third pile is the green pile. These are the cards that students are most competent with. These cards are tested weekly. If the students get them correct, they remain in the green pile and are tested weekly. If they get the card incorrect, it moves back down to the red pile to be tested every day. and the process continues. This is another useful video on YouTube which explains the process of flashcards in more detail. The link to this video can be found on the website and in the introduction to this presentation. Thank you for listening to the presentation. We hope you have found it useful and that you are better able to support your child with the study skills of mind maps and flashcards. For further information to support your child with exams, this can be found on the revision section of the school website. Thank you for listening.